Yes, good morning and welcome to Wednesday morning. Baby, Oshemi Freebiano, you're welcome once again to my official Facebook, YouTube page. I don't know why I always say it's Facebook, but this is YouTube page. The name is almost the same thing. If you go to Facebook, it's Kyei Innocent 1. Here on YouTube is Kyei Innocent 1. So most of the videos, I do subscribe. I made upload our YouTube into there be I can just subscribe to the page. So any update be able be no we to on Sabaka. And I'm not going to talk about politics. There be politics, but my culture say I'm very much concerned about happenings within our social realm and I'm not back on quite recently na obi ebisa me question be about certain ugly development be a opportunity Ghana, especially in Kumasi, and I'm very quite aware say one kasa winim enti oko Facebook na no I wrote something about it your friend is saying about it, and I will show you the write-up sabaya ubehu asama me about nema ekoso ewo Kumase regarding kwanya yafaso a certain things ewo krom ha say. And say mekaya yes on the Sunday no me say what is this emerging trend in Kumasi where radio stations have become platforms for settling marital issues. Most troubling is the vulgarity in the language, the obscenity of tone, and the dirty words often traded on air. Some of the remarks are not only embarrassing, but take us back to the Stone Age era of thinking. But the media commission seem to be okay with all this nonsense happening or going on our TV, on our radio. Very often you hear couples using dirty words on both radio and on TV, taking snaps and eggs to radio stations to rain curses on families over seemingly trivial matters. These informative platforms, I mean radio and TV platforms engaging in these activities, have become arenas for defiling the sanctity of family, sense of community, and the sanctity of marriage, sense of community, and family with renewed analog energy. And it's sad. The analog energy is a way of saying Sabi energy, and I didn't want to use Nkrasi energy. That is why I said analog energy, and you know analog, you know what it means. So this is the concern, and I read through various comments from a lot of people about this development, and said may go through Vision International. Yes, it's a page name. I also throw it there. It all amount to lack of controls and lowering of ethical standard in the media performance. Let the media commission wake up to its requirement. And now otro mihu kwajo Buahen Dexon so a Canadian and several other people Ishmael Lord just say obia a trend concern about this ugly development. And then you understand ne Kumasia. Some of the radio stations and the TV station, for whatever reason, I don't know whether it's because they want the numbers or whatever. I'm not telling us our SM and Kenya bad because growing up, Grammy said those things on the surface, of course, our radio. But a trend, emerging phenomenon, a bedroom stage, the way and manner they go about it, I am not against people discussing marital issues on radio. In the past, my culture, I'm for a critique scenario for educative purposes until it make us ban they are not real stories, but you say they fabricate these stories in order to activate a certain conversation. Similar situation, and this is how you handle it. So in the past and there course, so it's not a new thing, but the new phenomenon, the difference woman say we're talking about real marital issues. These issues, and yeah, ordinary issues, so they are toxic marital issues. Some it may result in death, some injuries, some whole lot of complicated marital issues. You expect professionals, state institutions, and other professional bodies handle those matters. Na sebi yade nokre ane baby say yade peace atono yade betono. These radio stations have arrogated to themselves, I don't know what authority. And the sad aspect is that people who sit behind the console to do these things are not educative individuals, or more the intellectual mind to be able to navigate through these storms. So their major concern has to do with in some cases na nipa no kano na ebe etime generative views amano. Enti I don't want to repeat some of the words. It's so dirty, and some of the issues we're discussing are very sensitive issues. And you see, again, what you fear, not your boarding or radio, so say, oh no, baby, that's say, abra when ya wear and as a form, and it's so nasty. The omo yenina ekame to defile the sanctity of the institution of marriage, family, and community, sense of community. And you begin to ask yourself, say, why would the Media Commission allow the overriding room for these individuals and radio stations to be engaging in these things? Because we are a young person. Now, if you get exposed to some of these toxic marital discussions going on radio, trust me, you will lose interest in marriage. You will lose interest in family. You will lose interest in a lot of stuff, because the way and manner they go about it, the way and manner they talk about it is so dirty. So dirty. And it seems to be a common phenomenon in Kumasi and they. Most of the radio stations, but yes, Ante Naa, but yes, Ante Naa, radio sooner sabi encrass some the profanity encrass language. And no multi radio sooner move through out there. And because people are so gullible, no? Because there are a lot of stuff yes, and then the institution of marriage has come under a certain attack because people are deceived and people go into marriage without even they don't even know what they are going into. Some it is as a result of society pressure. Because churches and pastors and and the best way to do that is to ensure they encourage intermarriages. So church no way be ma woman or ba woman, they will make sure church members. That is the your friend is saying owner and as a pastor no the motivation it's not about say awara na wo ko be si wi and say nsi wi or no na sorry say be betere e ho duma no mudi. So these people have succeeded in putting a lot of people together. And if you go to court, now you could hear some of the divorce cases now. Most of them, some of these marriages are 1 year old, some 2 years old, 3 years, it be a 6 months, it be a 3 months old. Whole lot of complications all because of these church pastors and then as a forum. So it is an avenue a crafting to educate young people. A man for mobile, why you don't need to buy into society pressure if you're not ready to marry, and what is expected of you. Because me as a health professional, maternal hospital, very often you encounter some of these issues. A man for mukunuwa brochidemo mona man for epempra ni kunusu oba onyem. They have to abort the baby sabi and kunuba omehu obesere o yemi free maternity ward mesere mo amon fa menkoto medical ward anya say me kunuba na hu say mo hospital. Whole lot of shitty stuff and mahu. So don't tell me I don't have experience. I know, and I'm privy to a lot of things. I have sat in a lot of counseling I also at the hospital and as a forum, and I have seen a lot. So if I'm telling you this, you should know say I'm not just talking out of a vacuum. You see, so there are a lot. I do radio station, I here to educate people. I bet me a man for why yes I need my way. But you do a point here, or Batihana Bematia already also, a seminal cannot be resolved by the radio station because they don't have what it takes to resolve the issue. But all that they are interested in is the sensational aspect of it. Into we are no more trying to short, and a wasting a new kuna is in a wedding Kusiana, ye bodia, and a way through phones, or not to be in Kurasika, and not for ye you so already. Said that Mexican, some of the issues no more discussing at time because and circumstances push a lot of young people into marriage. Oh, my baby, I make way, so pressure, so they have to. But the last time I met some students at one of the universities, I was talking to them about it was a social discussion, and I told them, say, when you go out there and somebody say, oh, I love you, honey, I will do everything for you, and I say, for no more team out there, and that become the sole basis for you to go into marriage. You are crazy. You are setting yourself up for a better life ahead of you. Because you see, first, you say marriage. Marriage those days, master-servant relationship where the woman comes into a relationship to serve the man and the man will provide everything. So that is why in the olden days, Bible me will be called for 7 years or and then will be 1 week called for because it is no longer slavery institution. Today it is partnership. And if you understand how a partnership work even within business settings, everybody must bring something. Two people going into partnership, you bring something, I bring something. And that's something now we'll bring, it is not always about money, don't get me wrong. It is not always about money. Obi the sike bar, obi the other for bar, obi the sike bar, obi the other for bar. You cannot just go to the union empty-handed, else you become a cannon folder along it, because the very moment you live with a person for 1 year, 2 years, trust me, so you face with the reality, and there be a farmer, a time will come, the person will lose respect for you, or by a name I want to mean come, because after all, union idea or whatever. I have seen Oblio marriage, they man you're very rich. The Obana the buy and Jessica, now your support, and the Bemano Tony can or church, you're finally saying good marriage. Your banner the man is good, but because the lady aside man only can also there's something about support. So you need to bring something to the table. Obi oha in the nim or the support you can obi oha a jumaye obi oha also osika obi oha sika no normally it doesn't work. So you must always bring something to the union, and that thing is indispensable so far as the union between the two of you is concerned. And so what do you know, the other person must long for it. Also, you must long for it. Says I didn't know now. Sasa was a manina as a warna swam who could grow there. So for say young ware, Binuma Jimmy to the stand, so for say young ware. Then no much of my mom. You should know, so you are not going to live with a sofa. And you see, normally I show my team that I know. Because of my stay in hospital, I have seen about 80% of marriages in Ghana are toxic. I'm telling you, are toxic. There are a lot of people who are in marriage because a manner will be how no baby. So that is the reason why they are still in the marriage. But on himself or the nukuno, I don't know. But they are there, some of these things holding them together. So you see two enemies living under the same roof because of their kid. Then I say for a day again, because a more could baby is a that's almost starting to and now say one person is a sole provider of almost everything. The other person no coy because if we say when you find that crowd the social media a man of say the toast one that is enough. Oh but damn, because 4 years after 40 years, you need to bring something. Either say a wapping nimdi now, either say be a good organizer, or had say, or Timia Juma, or had cry, or have support, and then as a phone. So when you bring these things to the table, then you panos who can also there, but then you complement each other. These are the kind of educational as a yet the man for. No, who say walking into the institution of marriage, you should never go empty-handed. Never. Because if you go empty-handed, trust me, when I also with your wine, you will forever regret it. Or go to a point after 1 year, 2 years, I love you, honey, I can't live without this. Then you'll be faced with the reality. The reality will ask, what do you add to this relationship? Me say, don't get me wrong. It is not about money. Money isn't part of it. Money become one of your bonus, but you need to be able to bring something. And now, as of for then as for there are two people who are highly incompatible, people who cannot even live together, people who don't even know each other. Now you can more boom. And I don't know woman are toxic. No, my culture say I can say about 80% of marriages in Ghana are toxic. And Oyana being so obey and as often I catch and say, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. Oh, bottom. Sadly, a man who discover him, you be woo. Now, I don't know how. Because, marriage is a human institution. There are some, there was a similar case, I see wo US. So, papa ne yesofo one na yere. But be man to me bo na yere na obano ne papa friend say aware no munjaya. Sofo no hira awade no so say or no fi so o hira awade so no aware ngu on nsam danti. They should not be the first person. Enti omo yeso ombe jai pe na de ogu ni so na monware. One day the man ebu oba no kun no. Go to US, akofia do makra your whole story. One day pet na be man sorry and obu oba no kun no. Okunu because she wanted to opt out. Ne ma ne papa te Ghana send a message say no. Our who the wish us go our go. We don't want our daughter say what God has put together. Let no man. I have no way yare. Our therefore Nyankopon mra metena ho no ma ware ma. Because when I call if it is not working, if it is toxic, you walk away. These are some of the education we need to give to people, young men and young women. And it's I don't know, it's quite unusual to make social issues, and I think that most of you are a bit surprised, but you know, it's an area I am very much concerned because what's about to know who some of the things, activities they play out, and how sensitive these things are, and the way a manner these jokers sit on TV and radio, and they rather chronicle the issue in a rather risible fashion, Yeah, cannot. As I dear esre, yeah, kind of G and Nina, or the posture of the woman or the TV radio. So, and sometimes you see, say, intellectually, these people are daft. Oko kawasem jena, about from say, or kamaya zero radio. So, to similar case, now, yes, yasapon, and I know busy yasapon issue by into America. Just imagine. This is a guy, order yare pasua, oh, and it's a new crack catch or issue concerning their marriage, so all back as it will be a weird you tell them, say, oh, because of the situation, you know, the man is dying, and at this point he needs peace. This is the time Jacob man to radio so, and women when they become frustrated, you understand. But you see, when marriage is a failure, one partner cannot blame the other alone. Because marriage is an institution, a thrive on partnership. So the very moment it fails, it means that both of you couldn't hold that institution together. So it doesn't matter how good or story, yeah. It doesn't matter how fertile. It doesn't matter how convincing your story. Whenever you're telling it in a very embarrassing fashion, fools will see, say, oh, you are not blamable. But every single intelligent person will know, so come on. You are not as innocent as you are portraying. Because in the first place, walking into it alone, no, the decision that actually went into it, no, you are largely responsible. These radio stations are supposed to chronicle some of these issues. Churches and some of the one-man churches, no, your brothers and sisters, sheep and shepherd, na ya tell na church making sure say you marry. That is what they are doing in the church. That is why sometimes I say Gamai and I promote in the church. Because pastor, the reason why they are doing that welfare, they are doing that for church expansion. Because when you sika until warem now my mother church members, then the church will grow. So to na wunim nyansa wa dwene so suffer per man 70 on person mo boy na ya ware, they are not helping you because they say go to court. I'm privy to a lot of them. That is why I'm telling you. Go and ask circumstances and go to the hospital and go and learn what is going on. So you see, this is a serious matter. I say you're nice form as people. Now you're working together. Yes, I understand. So this is what we are supposed to do. And as I will go through comments now, and I want my video now. I'm worried about the role of the state. You see, that be a cultural. When people lose faith in the state, that is when they resort to some of these things, because you were waju, your friends at the gender ministry and other institutions, oko police, your dopsu, domestic violence, and then as a form some of these things. Your institution as a be a fair, a firm with all the resources, and they are really committed. Say bit me I am not sure there will be enough incentive for people to take their marital issues. I am very sensitive to radio stations. Now, can't say be a side of the story bed, but they increase the same say yeah point your who we because if you go to do those things, you know, maybe who says we in power because however toxic the situation is, you are from a family, you're from a community, you belong to a church, political party, whichever. There are prominent people down to go publicly, because if you go public, you are only advertising stupidity, nothing else. Let alone to sit on radio and the radio host was sit there now or now come across a casa now more come on, and then that is the new fever in town, because the people are also intellectually daft to the extent say no one chroma. I'm told that is what people watch. I keep telling people, Buddha say, what you think and then what you become. And I keep telling people, say it's not just what you think. It is about the things you get exposed to. If you get exposed to things and you think it will not influence you, then be free. So me, I have restricted myself. There are certain content I don't consume. There are certain things. There are a lot of people on social media. When I say because before I listen to anything, I evaluate the intellectual credibility of that particular content. And sana, because the very moment you watch the thing, one way or the other, they will influence you. And in the long haul, you become that thing. It informs your thinking, your decision making, when you're aware, but they will pop up. That is why I don't want to get close to some of these things. But I don't know if you go to the various social media platforms, because of views. And say radio no crown and nipa no more program no more daft now more intimate program in the first place. I am not against it. I am against the nature of it. And the owners of these radio stations are also cool with it, because that is the phenomenon. Oh, yeah, views. That is it. Yeah, now I'm 40 soon, and people are embarrassing themselves on daily basis. Some of these things, what they forget, and some now got radio, so I can't go kuna nasa or mani maseno. They are going to be on the internet forever. What can I say? I've been home. The impact on your kid, or say in the future they will come and they will learn the Niama or cotton radio so Kokaya man for trade or say, oh, we cannot live in a society and a political space, and I say the religious space, and I say the social space today, the moral fiber of a society. 34 or more water for several years, 14 and 15. No, when they do differences are some were toxic and as a phone, but look at the way a man, community, family, church, and nothing we sing kunya. But the neck, yes, why uncle radio stations and make a cancer like ya quite a binum the snap, a binum to Kosuya, na ya T radio, so na ye bodria, and the media commission is okay with it. The radio owner, that is no ethics, no principle, just a time to be very honest. I catch you say, in building a country that be a sort of good politicians and a politicians or in a politician or minus any problem that country will never advance because the leader alone cannot lead. You need intellectual your friends population or more very intelligent to do their part. But all society in the afternoon people spend their time listening to some of this nonsense on radio. That is the phenomenon. And among for senior that radio so produce, they do some of these things in a manner that are so embarrassing and so despicable. Where's now the tone, the language, and the unprintable words. As some of these contents don't get exposed and that is one thing. So just imagine Accra already 12 years. Or Accra already 12 years. And our YouTube or share some of these because or more in the language they understand what will be Sakra not dreaming about the institution called marriage, about family and about a sense of community. What will be, are we thinking about the impact some of these things will have on them? Recently, I call to say, yeah, my celebrities and as for alcohol advertising and as for I support that. Yes, I do, and I have my reasons for that. So if we think that those people doing those things will have certain negative impact on the development of kids in the Ukraine as a form, because I'm for taking some of them as their role models. Don't you think that this particular thing has a negative impact on people? In the first place, what is his level of education? Because if in counseling, in the hospital, people do counseling, you need to be a certified counselor. So for you to be engaging in some of these things, what is their level of education? Because no intelligent person or you're certified marriage counselor no kwakọ tena radio so akọ yes and class the same way radio so and they are so judgmental. I don't know more yet. I say I am not against people discussing marriage on radio. No, I'm not against that. But I'm talking about the content, how they do it, the foul language they use, and the fact they say they are not solving any problem, but they are rather mocking people who take their problems there. And the fact that these things, they feel free to do these things within our media space, and the media commission is okay with that. In recent time, you hear some radio stations and as for your license and as for people are using TV and radio doing this. When I'm a friend, when you're my board, I'm a friend, boss, more your board, yes, I need my window radio, so no big phones, no dear tell me you. Come on. I feel sick in my stomach, to be very honest, because it does appear that the work we are doing it in vain. Because these are the very people you hope said they will be very intelligent, that may be working together to move this country forward. But these are some of the things they are consuming on social media. On radio, these are some of the things, and society thinks that it's okay. No morals, no values. What kind of society are we building? So as people, I think you may disagree with me. That's fine, because opinion, they say, I like no, so be our one idea. But you see, I'm not against marital issues being discussed, but the sensitivity of the issues in question, the context, the vulgarity of the language, the obscenity of tone, and the dirty words these people use in these sensitive conversations, and the fact is that they don't resolve anything. They rather end up embarrassing among for no issue no con papa penny be a wabon a bratty baby to one ya boarding or your friends saying or your pie FM ya boarding or your friends saying I say as spreadier to Insura FM, as spreadier to almost all the radio stations in Kumasi, because people think that is what people Sanya mana a real my coffee by before by an interview near their boat analog way of thinking, no. That is where it started from. And then I'm say a bloom plug so yeah, and then there was so a baby boom, a bar, or more kind of microphones is your morning, as or mutia yas a bonkaibo, and a TV is an aquaye. The microphone is your morning na ye beer two man as a being press a casa. What kind of society is this? What kind of society is this? Everybody is quiet. Chiefs, whoever, everybody is quiet. We are not worried about the tone. We are not worried about the exposure, because my catches are crowd already 15 years. When they consume some of this content, trust me, their marriage life is done, because they will be oriented in a certain manner. They will see marriage as a very disgusting institution. They might wish not to. Today you talk to a lot of young people, you tell them, come on, I'm not interested in marriage. Come on, I don't want to, because they hear the stories. But you see, the fact is that doesn't mean we can still work. So why don't we look at the positive aspect and discuss positive marital issues? I influence, and then you use the platform to educate